Good morning, everybody. Um, this is Miss Carolyn. I hope you guys are doing well. Happy Sunday to you. I just wanted to pop on here real quick. I'm not going to keep you long, but I just had to come on here and just, it's kind of kind of been on my mind for a minute anyway, but um, to kind of share my thoughts on this. Some of y'all probably heard the old saying that there are just some people that you just can't help. And that is very true. Experiencing it for myself. I've experienced it in the past, and I'm experiencing it even to this day. Especially when it comes to family, like those that are close to you. And I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of like what is the old saying? You can lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink it. Or leading a horse to the water, but you can't make it. Something like that. But I don't know. But some people are just, I don't know. It's not. It's sometimes it's not as much as they really want your help. Uh, it's kind of like they just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Wasting your time, draining your energy. I don't know, but I know one thing, and this is the God honest truth. People who are selfish and greedy, there is nothing you can do or give that is going to satisfy those kind of people. There was a pastor I used to watch. I used to follow him some years back, all the way up until he passed. And his name was Doctor Charles Stanley was his name. I think he passed away about a year ago or something like that. But he said something that was so profound way back in like 2014 in one of his sermons, and it still stuck with me to this day. He said that the spirit of greed can never be satisfied. And that's the truth. The spirit of greed can never be satisfied. You can never give enough. You can never do enough for people who is walking in that kind of spirit. You can never. They would just never. They're gonna. Is uh the the more you give, the more they're gonna want. you know if you do a little bit, they're going to want you to do more later on down the road. It's kind of like, um uh you give them an inch and they'll want a mile, kind of thing. Yeah, like that. I don't know. Just, and that is why, and I was telling one of my sisters the same thing. I told her, I said, that is the reason why when you come into contact with people like that, you got to have boundaries in place with those kind of people. You got to know where to cut it off. You got to know where to limit your time, your energy, your resources. Whatever it is that you is providing for that person, that particular person, you got to know when to cut it off. Even though, even if you love them, you care for them, you don't mind doing for them, helping them, whatever. you know because see, I'm going through that right now with a family member. Same thing. you know but I know when, because I know how this person is. I know how to limit my time. I know how to cut my time off from dealing with them. I do what I'm going to do, and then I cut it off and I go about my business. You know, because if you have the gift of peace, which can only come from God, you have that instilled in you. You have to guard it. You have to guard that peace like no other, because the devil is always on the take. He's ready to take your peace, and he gonna use those closest to you to do so. So that's why you have to be on guard. And if it means cutting people off in order to hold on to it, be willing to do that. Be willing to do that, because because it's something about having peace. It surpasses all understanding. It's just it's a calmness in it as well. Not only does it bring all of that, it also bring wisdom, and understanding comes right along with it. Then when you have that, you will learn how to not respond to certain things or certain people, or not go around certain people, kind of, and then of course, the ones that don't understand, the ones that are not tapped in like that, the first thing they gonna say is, oh well, they acting funny, they acting bougie, what's wrong with them, so you gonna be made looked at as the bad guy, because you got boundaries. You gonna be made looked at, like you are the one that is in the wrong, you know. But as long as you got that piece about you and you understand, you're not gonna even care about that. Let them think what they want to think. Let them say what they want to say, and just go on, and just let it be. Go on about your business. Who cares? I don't have time to worry about that or concern myself about that. But I am going to take care of me. I am going to guard my peace, whether it be with my siblings, my children, or whoever it is, co-workers, all of that. Even the clients that I serve through my work that I do every day. I have to do the same thing, you know, because I don't know. Some people they don't want help. They just want to get what they're gonna get out of you, uh, um, when it suits them, whatever, and and then they go on. But then those same people will come right back. They're gonna come right back, because whatever help that you are giving them, they don't have no intentions on doing right with it, and because of that, that's gonna bring them right back to you at some point. They're gonna and if you keep extending yourself and draining yourself of your energy, your time, your resources, they're gonna keep coming back. They're gonna keep coming back until you cut it off. You know. So so now that I am woke to that, to when I pick it up in that person's energy that they are a waste of time, and they really don't want to be helped. They just want to get what they can get, because at that moment in time that because it suits them. I I find ways to cut them off. I back off. I limit my time. I limit my energy, and I limit my resources. Simple as that. But I don't, but I didn't want to keep you guys on here too long. I just had to go ahead and share my thoughts on that, with anybody who will listen. Maybe somebody need to hear this. Um, but don't waste your time with people that you can't help. Just as simple as that. All right, guys. You guys have a blessed Sunday. Bye bye.